DJ, good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
I love how quick you were to the draw, and I couldn't be happier with the first ever Tackle Tuesday attendee, and love the topic that you chose as well. Very passionate about it.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to dive into it. Like I said, I'm honored that you're, working with us to figure out the first one. So let's get into it, man.
Wouldn't have it any other way. All right, so talk to me about the comment and the challenge that you made.
So specifically the marketing automations and agencies that go with it. Over the years, we've had a few things. We do marketing ourselves and got overwhelmed with it. Brought an agency on, spent a ton of money with the agency. Still currently with them, and I'm not getting the results that I thought or I should anticipate. I'm being told I'm getting the what's it called? The impressions and all the viewership, but we're trying to use ServiceTitan Pro marketing to track that stuff, and I'm being told it's not set up right, and there's all kinds of other things. So there's best way to describe it is, you remember that movie from What Women Want with So remember, he's walking through the hallway and he starts hearing all the women's thoughts and stuff like that, and he just starts covering his ears because there's too many things.
Just way too much. Yeah.
And so from the business owner side, I feel like information overwhelm is happening, and you don't know what to listen to or how to listen to it. And I'm really good at what I do, but I don't know a ton about this specific stuff. I know enough to be dangerous, so to speak. So, how do we set up the marketing automations where we're pushing things and it can go to multiple platforms, and then taking advantage of the GMB and different ad spends and stuff like that. And then if you do decide to bring an agency on, how do you actually hold them accountable to a positive ROI?
Sure. There's, first of all, incredible question, and my mind is going into a lot of different places. So please, if you see me falling into a rabbit hole like I am known to do, please just stop me and say, hey, Nora, stay on track. So expectations is such a critical part in forming a relationship, especially with vendors, customers. It doesn't matter. The expectations are critical component to any relationship that you have, personally or professionally. So from the onset, when we consider a marketing department, or at Crucible, if I help a client choose or make the determination to choose a marketing company, we kind of set some very clear expectations. Now, think about it this way. When you sign a residential lease, right? Somebody goes to rent an apartment. You take the lease for granted. People just sign leases left and right. Have you ever been a part of a commercial lease signing process where attorneys were involved?
Oh yeah.
How many back and forth red line negotiation emails took place before the lease was finally signed?
Oh, there was all kinds of stuff. I remember even at the table itself, where the actual signing was a physical in-person signing. There was audibles being called.
Yeah. And it gets frustrating because you're waiting to move locations or set up a new location and open up an office, and all you want is the lease to be signed so you can move in. Now, at the risk that I'm happily taking to kind of ruffle the feathers of some marketing professionals that serve the home service industry, those of them that know me are probably chuckling listening to this. Most marketing agencies are not used to kind of setting those expectations straight from the very, very beginning. A lot of marketing agencies say that they have proprietary technology or intellectual property that they put into the marketing. And your assets are your assets. Like, you pay for a website, you keep the website. You pay for PPC, you get the customers. But different marketing agencies will choose what they're going to show you versus what they actually see. There was this one time I was with a marketing agency, and I wasn't happy with the results that I was getting, DJ. And I dig into it, to the platform, like the portal that they gave me access to. And I was looking at the campaigns and different keyword blends. And I was like, why are you using this keyword here? And I was on a video meeting. The guy's jaw dropped to the floor. He's like, how did you get access to that? I said, I clicked on enough things until I broke it. I'm just looking for answers. So are you going to let me interpret this on my own? Or are you going to tell me what's going on? So, see how they play ball, right? What are they truly willing to share? Because you're used to seeing, let's say, click-through rate percentages, book rates, your ROI on everything else. But, if you have access or you're given access to different KPIs and metrics, what about bounce rate on your sites, right? Engagement times and everything else. Now, are you going to get a 5-6 page report with a bunch of KPIs that you don't even know what they are? Or is there a powerful one pager? As an owner and operator of a business, aren't you capable every day, as you already do, to look at one screen and to kind of get a pulse check of how everything is going, what you need to do that day, and what needs to happen? Why do actionable insights from marketing agencies only have to happen once a month, or once every few months, or once every few weeks, whichever the cadence of whatever report it is that they're setting? So if you know what to ask for that visibility. And if they're not going to play ball, well, your money is just as good with somebody else as it is with them. So get the value that you want. Does that answer a part of your question? Because I got something else.
Yeah, no, that answers part of it. And a lot of this stuff I learned through the School of Hard Knocks, which is some of the most expensive tuition in the world, as everybody,
That's true.
has heard. So like I'm finding this stuff out as I've gotten deeper into it. But now we're at the point of like, okay, since I've learned that I can't rely on the agency. I had somebody once tell me, like, you never plan to hire somebody to solve your problems. You can only have them advise you, and you got to make the decision. You got to take the action to solve the problem yourself. So my thing is when you're going through with this agency, like, how do you even know what's possible? Like, because this stuff that I'm learning now, I didn't know until I've had months and months, almost, sometimes I think we're a little over a year now with this agency. And now I'm learning things to ask, where if I would have known that at the beginning, we could have fixed a whole bunch of stuff.
Sure.
And that's with going through coaching and other odds and ends, with people. I'm good at a lot of different things, specifically like operational stuff and all that type of stuff. But when it comes to this, it was just interesting.
When things are going right and there's no issues to be had.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of inverse with marketing agencies. So here's what I'll say. The integrity of the operations and the insight and knowledge of our actions that move the needle dictates the honesty and transparency of the conversations and interactions you can have with your marketing agency and vendors that you deal with. So to expand on that, Marketing Pro is great. But before Marketing Pro existed years and years ago on ServiceTitan, one of my favorite reports was the campaign summary report. And just running that report, seeing the campaign categories, the campaign types, the numbers associated with them, the contributed revenue into certain time periods that I would run, the inbound calls, the booking rate, percentage of new customers versus percentage of old customers. Yeah, Marketing Pro is a fantastic dashboard, but a good way to see how well your Marketing Pro feature is working in ServiceTitan is to run a campaign summary report. Because if there's something that you don't understand in the bars and graphs and reports on the Marketing Pro tab, you'll be able to see the missing links or the blanks from the campaign summary report. So why am I saying all this? In the campaign summary report, there's actually a KPI that you have access to that you really don't have access to anywhere else. It's called unique inbound calls. A unique inbound call is a KPI that removes duplicates. So let's say you call a customer, or your dispatcher calls a customer saying one of your guys is on the way, right? And then the customer calls back an hour later, and because they had previously called to book the call. And what happens to your inbound calls? You had duplicates. So unique inbound calls removes those duplicates and gives you a true measure of inbound traffic. So what you will be able to do with that is then the other column is unique inbound calls booked. Now, when you divide those, you'll get a percentage, and that percentage is what a lot of people call, what I call, the raw booking rate. And if you have, like, let's say, an impressive booking rate of 85, 90, 92%, your raw booking rate is going to be in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, because it's giving you a true sense. I've been able to establish through some marketing nightmares and some operational victories that the bare minimum to be accepted is 35% on raw booking rate. I'd be curious to see what you would find out in the different campaigns that you have,
Right.
with what your raw booking rate is. So that's a direction that I would look in. Now, here's where things get really, really interesting. When you figure out the raw booking rate, the other columns are the percentage of calls from new customers and existing customers. The more new customers that you have, the lower your customer acquisition cost is, and you're getting decent ROI. And then you weigh that against revenue generated versus revenue realized versus your raw booking rate versus the blend of old versus new customers.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to immediately find out if the campaign, the advertising money is even being spent or targeted the right way.
And I'm 100% convinced that it's not. So that's interesting, because, like, I just, like, lately I just feel like everybody just wants their retainer and their money, and, like, they don't care whether it works or not. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people that have either experienced that, or they're currently going through that, or it's coming down the pipeline, because it seems like that seems to be more the case than not. But every so often you get somebody that's genuinely has an interest in seeing the success. And so, again, back to that Mel Gibson reference,
Yeah.
like, as you're running through, hearing all these people shouting all the different ideas and intentionalities and all this type of stuff, you got to kind of cut through that noise and figure out where, who you can listen to and actually make it make sense, because most of it's going to be gibberish that you're listening to, and a lot of people are just regurgitating stuff that they've learned or heard somewhere else, which is fine to an extent, but then, like, where does that practical line draw? So it's just interesting to me, like, when you're doing that. So, like, the comment that this particular agency that I'm working with uh says is, well, we just send you the leads. It's not, we can't control what happens after we send you the leads,
Mm-hmm.
but we look at all the campaigns that we're doing internally, mail campaigns, stuff like that.
KPIs are different, aren't they?
Right. The booking rates are way higher on the stuff we're doing internally versus the stuff that they're generating. I mean, like, dramatically different. So for me, being a layman in this space, it just, common sense is kicking in. I'm like, the math isn't adding up. So that's just one of the aspects. So in your experience, is there a way to overcome that, or is there somebody that you recommend, or is there something that I'm not taking advantage of in ServiceTitan that I should be taking advantage of?
Man, so DJ, one of the things that frustrates me the most is hearing a marketing agency representative tell me, well, we're getting you to leads, you just got to do better than that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a firsthand horror story that I heard where this marketing agency was providing tens of thousands of impressions a month, like from a like from the standpoint and the ratio of what the people are capable of doing versus the leads and impressions that they need. It was vastly lopsided, but the booking was horrible. If something was booked, it was a terrible lead. And so the power is in asking the right questions. I don't claim to know everything, but if you ask the right questions, you can definitely go in the right direction. And that's what I try to do in every interaction that we have. So I asked, well, where are you getting the impressions from? A very simple, very obvious question to ask. They're like, I don't know. I said, find out. So they send a report over, and just something didn't look right. And it turns out I had, I sent over to report to my marketing buddy, and he's laughing and he says, they're taking out banner ads in mobile games, the most viral mobile games that people are playing, your Angry Birds, your Hill Climb Racer, and all your Bejeweled and all that kind of stuff. And that gives you tens of thousands of impressions. It's people's livelihood on the line, because it's not just the business owner's livelihood, it's the livelihood of everybody that works for him and their families that they support.
Right.
So it's like the integrity of data and the power of knowing what question to ask so you can get those results.
That specific question was asked, and it's funny you use that analogy, because this is what ended up happening is like they went and searched and found keywords in our geographical demographic that were ranking really high. So one of them was oven cleaning. It's not a service that we provide. It's not a service that we do, but it's technically cleaning related. And that was their mantra. So they made a blog post about oven cleaning. And apparently that's like the #1 impression rate that we got on the website and stuff like that. So, and I questioned on it. I'm like, well, what leads are we getting there? And maybe there's a strategy there that I don't understand. He goes, oh, you're killing it on there. You're #1 for oven cleaning. I'm like, great. We don't offer cleaning. Somebody searches that, and then they might see, oh, we do carpet cleaning and all these other types of things, so it'll convert. To me, I personally don't care how many impressions and all that type of stuff. And maybe I'm wrong in that. I just care what converts into dollars in the bank. Because the last time I checked, if I take my wife out to a nice steak dinner, I can't pay with likes and impressions. So like, if that changes, maybe, that's cool. But as of right now, that's the only thing. So I try to get ServiceTitan set up in a way where I can actually understand the dollars that are converting in. And I believe I have it set up. I paid a guy to help me set that up right. And, all the campaigns that I'm physically paying for are showing like negative returns on the initial investment. And all the things that we're doing internally are showing positive ROIs. And when I present that to them, I'm being told, well, ServiceTitan isn't showing the data correctly. Look at our dashboard. And our dashboard shows it way different, way better.
How convenient.
Right. So like that's the thing. And I don't know enough about ServiceTitan yet to know if it is set up. And and that's kind of where I'm in this weird limbo of trying to figure all this stuff out. And like, so I keep asking myself the whole who not how scenario. So I'm like, I kept going like, how do I figure this out? How do I figure? And then I went to like, okay, who do I get to figure this out? And that's where the agency came in. That's where one of my ServiceTitan people came in and all that stuff. And I'm finding that the who's might be wrong as well. So I'm in this weird break point, so to speak, and I'm trying to navigate it, and I'm bleeding money everywhere that I turn, trying to navigate it. And if you're hearing this on the call, I know that you're not alone. If you're like, man, that sounds familiar, because I know from talking to other people in the industry, I'm not the only one going through this. So it's like, there's got to be a fix some way. So that's why you talked about something that's annoying and you posted on there. I was like, that was top of mind. So
man, couldn't agree more. ServiceTitan, there is no other tool in our industry in home services that mercilessly cuts deeper than the core meaning of the statement garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you put in is whatever is going to be displayed, right? So you want to put the Lego Death Star together without the instructions, have at it. It's probably not going to look like the Death Star when you're done.
Right.
And so there's nothing wrong with the data that ServiceTitan has or is showing you. It's how that data is being put into it. And if a marketing agency is not going to spend time, resources, and personnel in understanding how they not just work with ServiceTitan, but thrive with ServiceTitan, then they are not worthy and deserving of anybody's business. You can promise me the world, but if you're not going to show me that, then you don't deserve my money.
Yeah, they did mention something about as of July, ServiceTitan, I guess blocked some of the API that is going in there. So you have to pay to be an enterprise level API integration partner or whatever they call it there.
Yeah.
So like you can't export or do anything that you used to be able to do. So like they were trying to do some integrations with like Go High Level or other odds and ends to make some marketing things happen. And none of it was able to happen because they blocked the name, phone number, and email address in the API integration unless you're an enterprise level partner.
Yep. So it's interesting that you should bring that up. ServiceTitan isn't necessarily putting a stop to all of that, but they've increased their quality controls and measures and made the vetting process for somebody to be a certified partner much more robust. So I think that's a really, really good thing because this gold rush craze of everybody and their uncle saying that they're an expert in X, Y, and Z has to come to a stop. And if you're not going to be the first to admit that you don't know something, especially when somebody's giving you their time and money, and say, hey, let's kind of hit the pause over here and let's draw in on some experts and get some outside opinions on this, right? Let's not come up with a half-baked solution in isolation. So back to the metrics, the other thing that you can do to maintain kind of forced transparency, your internal campaigns is one of the answers that you're sitting on. So if you were to visually present your internal campaign KPIs, so your booking rate, your retention rate, your closing rate, your the average ticket, obviously, percentage of time that the blend of financing versus check or cash or credit card, right? If you were to quantify all that and put it in a report and then juxtapose it against the campaigns that are not in your control. The beautiful thing about this is going just one layer deeper. What you do is you add another column or row, whatever it is, for people to easily see the data. 95% of all service calls ran in this internal campaign had 3 options or more. 96.3% of all calls ran in this campaign had a minimum of 2 flat rate tasks per call. I'm just giving you hypotheticals here, of every single service call run in this internal campaign had customer facing on the wrench time of 1.5 hours to 2 hours. These are vast majority parameters in these KPIs in these campaigns, and the revenue, the booking percentage are head and shoulders above the campaigns that I'm paying you very good money to do. So don't tell me that you're doing a great job and it's my fault. No, I know my crap doesn't stink. So are we going to do some reverse engineering and some sleeves rolled up type of audits? Are you listening to some of these phone calls? You're the one that's helping me get these leads. Do you even spot check some call recordings? Do you see what's a lead and what's not? When's the last time you asked me what percentage of the calls that I get from this campaign that you are owning is a percentage of calls are new customers or existing customers? I'm not trying to be combative, Mr. Marketing Guru. I just want to know what we can do to be better. Because I grow, you grow. Are you happy with the amount of money? Would you like me to spend twice as much, 3 times as much with you?
Right.
Well, this is kind of slowing me down. What are we going to do about this?
No, I agree. I agree with everything that you're saying. Now it's just a matter of figuring out how to actually display that. And this campaign summary report I wasn't familiar with. I went right into the marketing dashboard that they showed me, so I've been using that. This is actually interesting to see and be able to put that to task. This report actually shows even worse than what the Marketing Pro report is showing.
Yep.
So that's really interesting.
For those watching this video, I want you to drop in the comments if you would like to book a follow-up call with DJ or go into one of the Service Crucible client ServiceTitan accounts with their permission, of course, and walk you guys through with the columns that I choose and the way that I export the campaign summary report and how I add specific columns for formulas and how I navigate and analyze it. If this is something that you guys want to see, please let your voices be heard, and I would be more than happy to make something like that happen. I nerd out about this kind of stuff, and I think it'll be extremely helpful for those that want to see it. Yeah, DJ, as you're playing with that, the columns that you absolutely must include is campaign type, campaign category, phone number, and you're going to get a very nice summary from Stella, the AI note taker. And you want to see unique inbound calls booked, percentage of new customers, percentage of existing customers. You also want to see completed revenue as well.
Now, you just said something that just triggered a thought. So we came over from Service Monster, which is geared towards the carpet cleaning industry, and we moved over to Titan. One of the really cool things on Service Monster is right on the main dashboard, it showed residential and commercial repeat rate, and it showed it in the percentage. And you can do it by whatever term you want for the year, for the month, for whatever, but it just shows your stuff. So I was told that that can't happen in ServiceTitan. Now, you just mentioned like getting a percentage of your customers. So is there a report somewhere that I should be looking at that can get that? Because I have no idea what our repeat rates are now, when a year ago I used to be able to know that because it's staring you in the face every time you log in.
You're not going to have it pop out in your face like it did in Service Monster.
Mhm.
This is to the best of my ServiceTitan knowledge. But what you can do is very easy and straightforward. Your advertised number that is attached to the campaign, make sure it is different than residential for your commercial campaigns.
Mhm.
Perhaps even create a separate campaign for commercial as well. And once you have that separated and you run your campaign summary report, you'll be able to see in the percentage of new versus existing customers what your repeat rate is going to be, which is percentage of existing customers. That's the most straightforward fix that you can have. So yeah, because
Is there a way to do that over just overall in general, or does it have to be campaign specific?
it's the inbound traffic tracking capabilities, right? So there's really not much you can do from an online setting unless there is a really good tech savvy company that's got your Google head HTML tracker, CRM integration. There's a company that I'm looking into called Pearl Diver, where all web traffic that comes to your website, you're able to find out demographic information, company, industry, median income, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
They haven't been around forever, so I just don't know how honest their information is going to be. But so the online traffic, I'm just not sure what's going to happen. But something that you can really easily do is, people talk about A/B testing and advertising and marketing all the time, right? So DJ, just do this, man. Get with your internet, your website, or your whoever owns your landing pages, right, on your online channels.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you call it? Have them create separate landing pages and tag that to a commercial campaign in ServiceTitan. So whatever you're targeting commercial accounts for, if you're going that granular and targeting commercial business, at least you're kind of funneling that commercial online traffic to your commercial campaigns. Are you ever going to be 100% accurate? No. Is there going to be some cross-pollination as far as inbound? Yes, right? Because they could be looking at you from their work computer. They go home, they're like, man, I really need to book the cleaning service for the office. They'll do it through their personal phone, right? So like, different things happen. I would strongly recommend kind of brainstorming and whiteboarding some A/B testing for your social landers and your online landing pages, and separating those campaigns on top of the physical number assets that are connected to their respective commercial versus residential campaigns. with the campaign summary report, you'll be able to see that.
Okay. Well, that's all good stuff to know. I appreciate the info, Morris.
Of course, man. I mean, the fireworks as usual. Love our chemistry, DJ. So happy you were the first one for Tackle Tuesday. Um, for those of you that are seeing you for the first time, I think the Facebook home services kind of crowd is a 20-member family in a 2-bedroom apartment. Everybody knows each other. But for the sake of an elevator speech, I don't know, man, take 15, 20 seconds. Tell us about you, where you're based out of, what you do.
Sure. My name is DJ Neumann. I operate Speed Clean Services out of Metro Detroit. We offer cleaning and restoration services. So we clean, maintain, and protect our clients' largest assets, their homes, their businesses, their vehicles. And we make sure that everybody's taken care of. It's definitely a service first mentality. We're really big on training and customer service. So that's it. We've been in business since 1980, and it's always growing and improving.
That's awesome, man. Heck yeah. When it comes to your service first mentality and the trickle down effect that it has on your culture and your team, it can't be faked, man. You're as real as they come, DJ. I want to thank everybody for watching this. If you felt that this was a powerful session that provided a lot of insight and you saw the power of asking great questions and really getting to the root cause of things to truly understand and how to have a hand in making a difference, head on over to the Service Crucible website, servicecrucible.com. Go to the contact us page. Everybody gets a free strategy session. At the very least, I would love to get to know you, your goals, your dreams, and hopefully I can do something to help you navigate your challenges. DJ, thank you, brother. It was amazing seeing you. Take care of yourself.
Good seeing you too, man. Wish you all luck in sport, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Take care.